Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Life is a journey filled with ups and downs, moments of joy, and times of hardship. There are times when we look back and feel as though we have lost precious years. Years consumed by struggles, mistakes, pain, or missed opportunities. It may seem as if those moments are gone forever, but with Allah, nothing is truly lost. Allah, the most merciful, has the power to restore what was taken, mend what was broken, and grant you blessings that far exceed what you once had. His divine wisdom allows for renewal and transformation, even when all hope seems lost. If you have ever felt like your best days are behind you, know that Allah's plan is greater than your past. He can turn your trials into triumphs, replace your sorrow with joy, and bring back what you once thought was gone. But how do you know when Allah is about to restore your lost years? In this video, we will explore 10 powerful signs that indicate His mercy and blessings are unfolding in your life. Stay with us until the end, and you may realize that Allah's restoration has already begun. Before starting this video, do not forget to like this video, because it gives us a lot of strength to continue sharing beneficial content. And I invite you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay informed of our upcoming publications on the Islamic faith. Thank you, and good video increased spiritual awareness. One of the clearest signs that Allah is about to restore your lost years is a deep and renewed connection with Him. You begin to feel a pull toward your faith, a longing to strengthen your relationship with your Creator. This change is not forced. It happens naturally, as if your heart is being guided back to where it belongs. You find yourself drawn to acts of worship with sincerity rather than obligation. Your prayers become more heartfelt, and you start experiencing tranquility in your salah. The remembrance of Allah, dhikr, becomes a source of comfort, and reading the Quran feels more personal, as if the words are speaking directly to your soul. Difficulties that once shook your faith now push you closer to Allah instead of away from Him. Instead of questioning why certain hardships occurred, you begin to see them as part of a divine plan meant to bring you closer to Him. Your dependence on material things starts to fade, and your trust in Allah's wisdom grows stronger. This shift in spiritual awareness is a sign that Allah is preparing you for something greater. He is removing the distractions that kept you distant and opening your heart to His mercy. When Allah intends to restore what was lost, He often starts by renewing your faith, ensuring that your foundation is strong before He blesses you with what is to come. Renewed hope and optimism. Another sign that Allah is about to restore your lost years is a renewed sense of hope and optimism. Even if you have faced years of struggle, disappointment, or failure, something within you begins to shift. The weight of past regrets starts to lighten, and you no longer feel trapped by what went wrong. Instead of dwelling on missed opportunities, you start believing that better days are ahead. This newfound hope is not baseless. It is accompanied by signs that Allah is guiding you. Unexpected blessings appear, sometimes in the smallest ways, reminding you that He has never abandoned you. Perhaps a door opens just when you were about to give up, or a long-awaited prayer starts unfolding in ways you didn't anticipate. These moments serve as reassurance that Allah's plan for you is still in motion. You begin to understand that every hardship you endured had a purpose. The struggles that once seemed unbearable now make sense in hindsight. You realize they were shaping you, strengthening your faith, and preparing you for something greater. The pain of the past no longer defines you. Instead, it becomes a lesson that fuels your journey forward. This renewed sense of hope is a clear indication that Allah is restoring your heart before He restores your life. When you start believing again, when your heart feels lighter and your soul is open to His mercy, it is often a sign that His blessings are already on their way. Doors opening unexpectedly. One of the most remarkable signs that Allah is about to restore your lost years is the sudden appearance of new opportunities. When things that once seemed impossible begin to unfold effortlessly, it is a sign that Allah is making a way for you. Doors that were tightly shut for years start opening, and paths that once felt blocked become clear. These opportunities may come in different forms. You might receive a job offer after a long period of struggle, a financial breakthrough when you needed it most, or an unexpected chance to pursue something you once thought was out of reach. Sometimes, it is not just about material blessings, but also about emotional and spiritual openings, finding inner peace, clarity, and a renewed sense of purpose. Another clear sign is that the right people begin to enter your life. You may come across individuals who support and guide you, mentors who offer wisdom, or friends who encourage you on your journey. These connections are not accidental. They are part of Allah's plan to help you progress. People who once drained your energy may fade away, making room for those who bring positivity and growth. When doors open unexpectedly, it is a reminder that Allah's timing is perfect. Even if you feel like you have lost years in waiting, He can restore everything in ways that exceed your imagination. Stay patient and trust that when the right opportunity comes, it will arrive effortlessly, as a sign of His divine mercy. Old burdens start to lift. When Allah is about to restore your lost years, one of the most profound changes you experience is the lifting of emotional and spiritual burdens. The weight of past mistakes, regrets, and disappointments begins to fade, allowing you to move forward with a renewed sense of peace. You may not be able to explain it fully, but deep inside, you feel lighter, as if something that once held you back has been removed. The guilt that once consumed you no longer has the same power. You start to realize that Allah's mercy is far greater than any mistake you have made. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you begin focusing on what lies ahead. You stop punishing yourself for the past and accept that every experience, even the painful ones, was part of Allah's greater plan to shape you into a stronger, wiser person. Along with this, your heart starts to find peace. Where there was once restlessness, there is now contentment. You feel less anxious about the future and more trusting of Allah's divine timing. The emotional wounds that once seemed impossible to heal begin to fade, replaced by a sense of tranquility that only He can provide. This lifting of burdens is a clear sign that Allah is preparing you for something better. When He restores, He does not only change your external circumstances, He transforms your heart first. The moment you begin to feel at peace with where you are, even before everything falls into place, know that His mercy is already at work, making way for the blessings to come. A deepened understanding of trials. As Allah prepares to restore your lost years, one of the most profound changes you will experience is a deepened understanding of your past struggles. You begin to look at the hardships you faced, not as punishments or signs of failure, but as essential lessons that helped shape you. The trials you once viewed with frustration and confusion now appear as part of a greater divine plan, meant to teach you patience, resilience, and trust in Allah. You stop asking, "Why me?" The self-pity that once consumed you gradually fades away, replaced with a sense of clarity and wisdom. Instead of resisting the difficulties you encounter, you begin to accept them, understanding that they were designed to bring you closer to Allah and to help you grow spiritually. Every hardship, whether it was a failed endeavor, a lost opportunity, or personal pain, was a stepping stone to a better understanding of life and a deeper connection with your Creator. With this new perspective, Allah grants you patience and contentment. Where you once felt angry or defeated, you now find peace in knowing that every experience has a purpose. You become more patient with the process of life, trusting that what is meant for you will never pass you by. You begin to embrace the challenges that come your way, understanding that each one brings you closer to Allah's mercy and closer to the restoration you seek. This deepened understanding of trials is a clear indication that Allah is preparing you for something greater. The wisdom He imparts through hardship allows you to accept His plan with open arms and an open heart, knowing that His guidance will lead you to the blessings you once thought were lost. Increased generosity and gratitude. As Allah is about to restore your lost years, one of the significant shifts you may experience is an increase in both generosity and gratitude. You begin to feel a strong urge to give, even when your resources seem limited. Whether it's giving your time, your support, or your financial resources, you find yourself more willing to share with others, understanding that generosity does not diminish what you have. Rather, it multiplies it. Even if you feel that you have little to offer, you start giving with sincerity, knowing that Allah rewards every act of kindness, no matter how small. This shift in your heart comes from a deep understanding that everything you have is a blessing from Allah, and it is not yours to hoard, but to share. You feel more connected to others, realizing that your wealth, whether in material possessions, knowledge, or emotional support, can make a difference in someone else's life. Alongside this generosity, your gratitude grows exponentially. You begin to appreciate the small blessings in your life, the moments of peace, the love of family and friends, the roof over your head, and the food on your table. What you once took for granted becomes a source of joy and thankfulness. You realize that Allah has already blessed you in ways you may not have fully recognized before, and this awareness fills your heart with contentment. As you give and express gratitude, you also begin to notice that the more you give, the more you receive, both spiritually and materially. Allah opens new doors for you and fills your life with even more blessings. You understand that generosity and gratitude are not just virtues. They are pathways to further restoration. The more you give, the more Allah blesses you in return. And this cycle of giving and receiving becomes a beautiful reflection of His mercy in your life. Strengthened faith in dua. A powerful sign that Allah is about to restore your lost years is a strengthened faith in your supplications. Dua. As you begin to trust Allah more deeply, you naturally find yourself more consistent in making dua. You seek His help and guidance in every aspect of your life, whether it's for success, healing, patience, or forgiveness. You no longer just ask when in need. Dua becomes a regular part of your daily routine, a conversation with your Creator that strengthens your connection with Him. Along with this consistency comes a profound shift in your understanding of how Allah responds to your prayers. You begin to accept that not all answers come immediately, and you no longer view delayed responses as unanswered prayers. Instead, you understand that Allah's timing is perfect, and sometimes His delays are a form of mercy, protecting you from harm or preparing you for something better. You develop patience, knowing that Allah always answers your dua, but in a way that is most beneficial for you. As your faith in dua grows, you start to notice subtle signs that your supplications are being answered. These signs may not always be as dramatic as you expect, but they are real and powerful. It could be an unexpected opportunity that aligns with your prayer, a sense of peace that follows a particularly heartfelt dua, or a situation that shifts in your favor when you least expect it. These signs are reminders that Allah is always listening, and He is responding to your needs in ways you may not immediately recognize. This strengthened faith in your duas is a clear sign that Allah is preparing you for restoration. When you trust in His answers, even when they take time, you open the door for His mercy to flow into your life. The more consistent you are in asking, the more you align yourself with His divine plan, making space for the blessings that await you. Inner peace. Despite external chaos, when Allah is about to restore your lost years, one of the most noticeable signs is the peace you begin to experience within yourself, even in the midst of external chaos. Life may still be filled with challenges, uncertainties, and struggles. But despite these external circumstances, you feel a deep sense of calm in your heart. This peace is not something the world can provide. It is a gift from Allah, a tranquility that comes from knowing that you are in His hands and that He is always with you. Where once you may have been consumed by anxiety, stress, or fear, you now find yourself remaining calm in situations that would have previously unsettled you. The worries of the world no longer dominate your thoughts. You trust that whatever happens, Allah is in control, and His plan for you is always better than your own. This inner peace allows you to face challenges with a steady heart, knowing that Allah's timing is perfect and that every trial has a purpose. Your faith deepens as you learn to let go of your need for control. You stop fearing the future because you know that Allah is the best of planners, and whatever He has written for you is exactly what you need at this moment in time. You release the fear of the unknown and place your trust fully in Him. The sense of inner peace is a powerful sign that Allah is preparing to restore your lost years. When you are able to remain calm despite life's uncertainties, it shows that you have surrendered to His will and are confident in His ability to guide you toward the future He has planned for you. Divine protection from harm. As Allah prepares to restore your lost years, one of the most profound signs you may notice is His divine protection in your life. Certain situations that could have harmed you are miraculously avoided, or they don't have the negative impact you feared. Whether it's an accident you narrowly escape, a sudden change in circumstances that prevents disaster, or an unexpected intervention that shields you from harm, these moments serve as clear reminders that Allah is protecting you. His mercy surrounds you in ways you may not even fully realize at the time. In times of difficulty, you begin to see Allah's mercy more clearly. What you once perceived as obstacles or challenges are now seen through a different lens. You understand that He is always with you, guiding you and protecting you from what could have been worse. His protection may come in subtle ways. Perhaps a delay in your plans that turns out to be a blessing, or a hardship that ultimately leads to a better outcome than you initially expected. This divine protection leads to a deep recognition that many of the setbacks you have faced were not misfortunes but hidden blessings in disguise. What seemed like a loss at the time was actually a redirection from Allah, steering you away from harm or a path that was not in your best interest. The closed doors, disappointments, and hardships you faced were ultimately part of a greater plan to protect you and guide you toward better things. This sign of divine protection is a clear indication that Allah is preparing to restore what was lost. When you begin to recognize His mercy in every trial and realize how He has kept you safe from harm, it confirms that He is guiding you to a future filled with blessings and opportunities, a renewed purpose in life. The final sign that Allah is about to restore your lost years is the discovery of a renewed sense of purpose. You begin to feel a surge of motivation that wasn't there before. This motivation isn't driven by external pressures or material desires. It comes from a deeper, more spiritual place. You find yourself focused on goals that align with pleasing Allah, striving for success not just in this world, but also in the hereafter. Your priorities shift, and you start seeing your life's purpose more clearly than ever before. As this renewed sense of purpose grows, your goals begin to change. No longer are you chasing after fleeting achievements or external validation. Instead, your heart is set on fulfilling the responsibilities that Allah has entrusted to you. From nurturing your faith to helping others, from pursuing knowledge to living with integrity. You realize that true success lies not in material gain, but in the pursuit of spiritual fulfillment and righteousness. This shift in purpose also brings with it a deep sense of inner peace. You no longer feel lost or aimless. There is a clarity in your life's direction, and every action you take, no matter how small, feels purposeful and aligned with your faith. You understand that Allah's restoration is not about returning to your previous state, but about elevating you to a higher level of spiritual awareness and fulfillment. When you begin to feel this renewed sense of purpose, it is a clear sign that Allah is guiding you toward a life filled with both worldly and spiritual success. Your heart becomes more attuned to His will, and your journey takes on new meaning. This renewed purpose is the final confirmation that Allah is preparing to restore all that you have lost, not just in terms of success, but in your spiritual growth and relationship with Him. To recap, the 10 signs that Allah is about to restore your lost years are an increased spiritual awareness, renewed hope and optimism, doors opening unexpectedly, old burdens lifting, a deepened understanding of trials, increased generosity and gratitude, strengthened faith in dua, inner peace despite external chaos, divine protection from harm, and a renewed sense of purpose in life. Each of these signs reflects Allah's mercy and guidance, preparing you for restoration and a life of greater fulfillment. As you reflect on these signs, remember to trust Allah's process. Restoration may not come in the way you expect, but His plan for you is always better than what you can imagine. Stay patient, keep faith, and know that Allah's timing is perfect. Even in the hardest moments, He's working behind the scenes, bringing you closer to your ultimate purpose. As Allah says in the Quran, indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Quran 13:11. Trust that when you align your heart with Him, He will bring restoration, peace, and blessings into your life. Stay hopeful and steadfast, for Allah's mercy is limitless, and His plan for you is beyond what you can see.